The Baseball Brewhaha is headed to Chicago. Folks, welcome to the Baseball Brewhaha. And this week, it doesn't look like it from our background, but we're headed to Chicago. We got things planned. It's post birthday week. We talked about celebrating our birthday last week. Adam, tell the folks what we're doing.
Last week was birthday week, but our big celebration this year for Aaron and I is a trip to Chicago, baseball themed trip, all baseball all the time, as we do here at the Baseball Brewhaha. Trip, long weekend trip based out of Chicago. And we got some stuff planned. And our itinerary starts. I mean, we're just like, boom, first day, we're at Wrigley Field. Cubs Nationals. And I've been to Wrigley before. Aaron, you're not. What are you most excited to see at Wrigley Field?
Well, I think it's got to be the iconic Ivy and just the seating there. Just I know they did some renovations and whatnot, but I haven't been. My number of stadiums I've been to is a fairly small list, and I know Wrigley's way up there as far as historical venues. So I'm very excited about that. I've never been to Chicago, so just kind of the vibe around the stadium. The Cubs are sort of losing the grip on being in playoff contention, but if they made a run beforehand and you had some electricity in the stadium, that would be a lot of fun. That would make it ideal kind of a setting there if you had some real competitiveness there in that game. So
No matter what, the Cubs fans, they know how to rock it.
mhm.
So it'll be a good time at Wrigley Field. Uh, like I mentioned, I've been there before. I haven't been since they renovated. So it was
Okay.
pretty
Mhm.
old style. So there were no the big video boards weren't there. Some of the seating renovations weren't there, and I sat way up in the right field foul area behind a pole.
Behind a pole, yeah, okay.
So we got better seats. So we have better seats than that. So I'm excited to see a different angle of the game. Excited to be back at Wrigley.
You're
Um,
excited for an angle that allows you to actually watch the game.
Yeah. Yeah, because not only was I behind the pole, but the way the seats were designed is they they look straight.
Oh,
So
yeah, okay.
I was faced directly towards center field.
Okay.
So you had to like turn your body and do the whole thing. So our seats I think are still straight, but pointing toward home plate from
Okay.
behind home plate.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. So, yeah, Adam. So you've been. Is there anything that I need to be ready for?
The nostalgia
Uh huh.
and the grip of baseball history
Mm-hmm.
uh, is really fun, and you just it hits you like a wave, and you just have to let it flow over you and enjoy the moment, be present in the moment as much as possible. It is one of the great historical places to be in all of baseball.
That's interesting, and we may have to talk about that more on a future show after we go, because I was just thinking about. So I've only been to three stadiums. You've been to a lot more than I have, but I've been to in Seattle, obviously the two stadiums, Kingdome and T-Mobile, the Rockies, and then the Brewers. All these teams, while they have history and they have historical moments, they're all relatively new teams, and so this will definitely be by far the team with the most history that I've been to their stadium. and in an older park. Obviously, a lot of these teams, even the older teams, they've built a new stadium. They built, so this will be a unique experience. So I'm looking forward to that.
And something cool that we'll get to experience that I haven't yet regarding Wrigley is a couple days later after the game, we're going
Hmm.
back to Wrigley to do the stadium tour.
That'll be fun. That'll be great. So that will be a little cherry on top to the
It
trip.
will. And so speaking of baseball and cramming in a lot of baseball,
Hmm.
this going back to the itinerary, Cubs Nationals day game.
Yeah.
As soon as that game is over at Wrigley, we hop in the car and we're driving as fast as we can get there
Hmm.
to Milwaukee for the
Yeah.
Diamondbacks Brewers matchup that same evening.
Yeah. Yeah. That again, this is a wild one. And so, you hope that maybe you get a pitcher's duel to speed things up in that Cubs game. You want a good game, close game. But we got to get to the second game in Milwaukee. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, we should be all right, but this is going to be a experience I've never had before and maybe
Uh-huh.
will never again is
Yeah.
watching two MLB games in two cities
Hmm.
on the same day.
Yeah. You're just hoping you don't hit some traffic quirk or something going on there. But yeah, I mean, I certainly have not done that. When we were younger, we went back to back days. We've done something like that before, but never two games in the same day. This would be an experience.
Oh, absolutely. Excited about that. Now, you've been to Milwaukee and their
Mhm.
stadium. What should I be looking out for?
I'm gonna be honest. We're gonna have to do a little walking around, a little tour or something. 'Cause I've been there a couple times, but I just like went and watched the game. I didn't walk around. My initial thought, having been there twice, is like prepare to be a little bit underwhelmed. It's nice. It's not, but it's not. Um, like in my opinion, T-Mobile and Coors Field are superior places to watch a game. It just feels very like very concrete. There are some nice sort of Milwaukee, Midwest kind of historical things that they try to do in the stadium. And like I said, it's a newer stadium, and it's fine. It's nice. It's a nice place, but it's not like it doesn't have the nostalgia, and it's not as open. It's not. I don't know. It just doesn't have. Um, I enjoyed my experience, but it wasn't like something where I was like, man, I got to get back to Milwaukee.
Okay. Well, maybe this is where we should turn things over to our Brewers fans.
Yeah,
Hop in the comments with
roast
what's
Aaron.
roast Aaron, and while roasting Aaron, tell us what to go find
Well,
at the
so
stadium.
yeah, this yes, especially at the stadium. I don't know if we'll get to downtown. Downtown Milwaukee is pretty cool. Like around that area, there's some great restaurants. That has a very historical vibe, for sure. So the city itself, but the stadium's kind of out on the
Hmm.
old outskirts. It's not in downtown, or really close there to there. So.
Yeah, well, and we're going straight from Wrigley
Hmm.
to Milwaukee, so already Milwaukee is not positioned well to be, in terms of comparison
Hmm.
of the fantasticness of a ballpark. But we're gonna have a great time.
Hmm.
And so on that day, we're gonna be watching two games. Last week, we ripped some packs for our birthday from our dad.
Yep.
And we are going to showcase a few of the players we pulled that we might see at these
Yeah.
games.
Yeah. And we have, I think we're a little bit undecided on exactly how it's going to go down, but I think we're going to do a little competition as well. See,
Oh, okay.
see who's going to. We'll specify the details when we get back from our trip. But I have four players that between these two games that I'm hoping that we'll get to see. Maybe as simple as that is what percentage of our cards of our players do we actually get to see? Something like that. But I got AJ Puck, Marlins card, but he is now with the Diamondbacks and pitching well. Gabby Moreno, Diamondbacks, one more Diamondback, Justin Martinez, and then a Cubs, Nico Horner. So those are
So,
the guys from my packs that I'm looking forward to seeing.
yeah, between the both of us, we have a lot of Diamondbacks. I had 8 cards from my packs. So I divided them by game.
Okay,
So
there you go.
first game, we've got Cubs, Seiya Suzuki, and Ian Happ, as well as Jose Tena of the Nationals. And then Diamondbacks Brewers, we've got Sal Frelick. And then we have 4 more Diamondbacks. You had 3, so 7 Diamondbacks we might see here. Christian Walker, Zach Gallen, Alec Thomas, and Ketel Marte.
Hmm.
In addition to my guy and my former student, Corbin Carroll, shout out to Corbin.
Yeah, yeah.
Excited to see him play as well.
Hmm. Yeah. So we're a little undecided on the competition, but I think it's only fitting that we do some type of competition. And so that'll be revealed later. I'll tell you the competition. I'll tell you who won the competition.
Yeah, so we're excited for big game, big day, 2 games, 1 day.
Hmm.
But that's not the entire trip. The next day, we
We
wake
get to
up.
drive 3.5 hours each way. I'm looking forward to 3.5 hours across Iowa.
Yeah, I I love road trips, so
Yeah.
I'm excited for this little trek. Aaron mentioned where we're going across Iowa. Where are we going across Iowa? None other than
Dyersville.
Dyersville, Iowa, Field of Dreams movie site.
Hmm.
A glorious, glorious place.
Yeah, I have not. You've been. I have not.
I've been.
Yeah. So I don't know what to expect. We just watched the movie here recently. Um, and I forgot how good it was. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a really good. I like it. I like it. I think it's a really good movie, um, and some nostalgia and some things all in there. So I don't know what to expect.
Well, when I went, so Field of Dreams is really a father son movie in many regards.
Hmm.
When I went, it was pre children, and it was still very special. Our dad was with me on that trip, so there was a lot of feelings, a lot of
Hmm.
uh, a lot of just appreciation for dad and for the game of baseball and the connection that we had together.
Hmm.
I'm imagining it will be a very emotional experience to be there with you and as a as dads. We are dads.
Hmm. Yeah. Now, one of the things with the Field of Dreams, my understanding is that um, you can go on the field, you can play catch, pitch, hit around, and whatnot. Uh, but there's a possibility that there could be like a game or something going on that you kind of got to work around. Do you have any intel on what we're gonna, what are we gonna see when we show up there? Are we gonna have opportunity? We're gonna be waiting in line.
I have no intel.
Mhm.
I'm sure somebody somewhere could find a schedule and see if there is youth baseball happening on the field. When I went previously, There were no organized games. There were just some people out playing on the field, and so you just you can go out on the field, pitch, hit, play. It's just like a park in many ways.
Mhm.
You could go out to the cornfield. You could, we did a little video of like pretending like we were coming in from the corn.
Yeah.
It was fun. And what I'm looking forward to also is they've developed a bit. So since I've been there, it was purchased by new owners
Hmm.
who have added a baseballism store and built out some of the concessions and improved some of the facilities on the property. So I'm excited to see how things have changed. It's been almost 15 years since I've been there.
Wow. Yeah. Absolutely. So absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it would be fun to like have a little pickup game or something. That would be that would do it. We're probably gonna. My initial thought was, I feel like I got to bring my glove.
Yeah.
We went cheap on the flights, so you basically get like a wallet to fit all your clothes into. As long as you can stuff it in your pockets, that's basically what we're looking at. Which will be fun. That'll be fun to kind of do something. Just hit it, So got to bring the glove, but I feel like we probably need to stop at a Goodwill,
Hmm.
pick up a bat, because can't bring that.
No,
It's not
they
going to make sense to do that.
not on the flight. They might not let you take it on.
Hmm.
Won't fit in the carry on.
Yes. Yeah. Um, so, yeah. So if you're familiar with the Dyersville area, we will need food somewhere along the line. So, help us out if you have restaurant recommendations there. And then we've got the Wrigley Field tour, and we're going to have a little bit more time around in and around Chicago Wrigley Field on Monday. So if you've got food suggestions, restaurants kind of close to the stadium, I saw a little Mariners thing where Logan Gilbert and Brian Wu went to a famous restaurant there, and we might have to check that one out. It's what Ed Tabelski's or something like that. Um, So it looked like an interesting place. So maybe it's a little far from the stadium, but not super far. So, but if you've got ideas for us, places that are, you can't miss it, drop that in the comments. That would help us out. Find some spots to hit.
Yeah, absolutely. Anywhere between Dyersville, Chicago, Milwaukee, maybe a little bit, especially at the stadium.
Hmm.
But we don't get to go on these trips very often. So if we're going once in our lifetime,
Hmm.
where's the place we need to be?
Yeah, and near the stadium, other than food too, because we'll be kind of touristing around a little bit. So if
Yeah.
there's a like a especially if it's a baseball related something that is like a can't miss around Wrigley Field, let us know. We love to hit it up as well. That's going to do it from us today. We'll be back again next week. We'll talk about our trip highlights, lowlights, competition updates and results, and we'll see you then. Thanks, everybody.